Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Robbie Billups, and today it's the weekly comic book review. That's right everybody, the weekly comic book review, what I read this week and what I thought about it. First of all, the pick of the week, Hawkeye #1 from Marvel Comics, an extraordinarily awesome writer, Kelly Thompson. Kelly Thompson writes one of my favorite comic books, Jim and the Holograms, and I'm not joking. That book is so legit, so cool. Check it out. Anyway, she's got a new Hawkeye book. Now, this is Kate Bishop is the other Hawkeye. If you are a fan of the Matt Fraction or the Jeff Lemire runs on Hawkeye with Clint and Kate, you're going to love this. It's basically the same tone, the same humorous detective tone without Clint Barton, just Kate Bishop. I love the character of Kate. I think she's awesome. This book is so cool. I'm very happy and thrilled that she finally has a chance to shine in her own solo title. But this is super cool. Takes place in California. Cool detective story. Really, really fun stuff, guys. The artwork is done by Leonardo Romero, and it's fantastic. It's great. It's just like what you're used to from the Hawkeye books. Very cool, very fresh, and a little unique as well. So check that book out for sure. Another giant one from Marvel this week, or at least they want it to be, Inhumans versus the X-Men #1. Now, you know that I'm really worried about the state of the X-Men at Marvel Comics. I haven't really liked the direction they've taken the Inhumans into. Can they fix it? Can they get it all together and shake it up and make something new with Resurrection, right? I don't know. I have my doubts, for sure. This book is, I didn't like it. I could be really harsh on this book, but I didn't like it. I do appreciate what they're trying to do. It's written by Charles Soule, Jeff Lemire, art by Lionel Francis Yu. Never been the biggest fan of his artwork. I think it's a little, it's just, I don't know, it's a little static for me. Like, honestly, I think some of his line work is really cool, but I just think his artwork comes across as static. This is just over the top, gratuitous, stupid. I don't know. I didn't like this book at all. I thought it was really, really dumb. And if they're trying to invoke the Avengers versus X-Men stuff, and as ridiculous as some of AVX was, IVX is so many levels below that. Huge X-Men fan. You're gonna want to check out this book. Otherwise, I don't know, man. And it's $6. I don't know. Really, really weak. Another really weak one, in my opinion. Doctor Strange and the Punisher Magic Bullets. Of course, Punisher is a TV star now. He's got his own show about to be coming out very, very soon. Doctor Strange is a movie star, so why not throw the two together, right? Well, it doesn't work. And one of the reasons why it doesn't work for me is, first of all, the story is just kind of juvenile. Like, honestly, like, really? Like, this is something I came up with when I was 10 years old playing with action figures in the 90s. But anyway, aside from that, I think this was a digital first book, and so now it's being adapted into print, and the artwork it doesn't vibe, and like, it's not just drawings and squares that matter in comic books. It's the whole layout, the whole design, the way it flows, the way it, you know, all of that. It has to be very fluid. This book is very jarring and juvenile. Another kind of J words I can't think of right now. Old Man Logan, number 15. Jeff Lemire, Old Man Logan, that is the best X-Men book that we got at Marvel right now. Andrea Sorrentino is typically the artist, but he's off again for this one. We got Andrade back. It's decent because it fits with the story. It's a very quick wrap up on the monster story, the Howling Commandos and Dracula. Huge Dracula guy, so I'm happy to see Dracula, but definitely gets cover of the week. Cover of the week. That stuff is amazing, but the book is okay. It wraps up that story really, really quick. Jessica Jones, #3. Haven't been digging this book. Haven't liked it that much at all. When I was younger, I really liked Alias from Bendis and Gaydos. So Michael Gaydos, the artist, and Brian Michael Bendis, the writer, of course, and creators of the character. I don't know. I'm just not digging it. Like, I don't know if the magic's just not there anymore, or if I have grown up and maybe matured a little bit in what I expect out of a comic book. But I don't know. I remember really liking Alias and was kind of stoked for this to come back, and it's been letting me down. Like, it's not super bad, but it's not significant, and it's 3 issues, and we still don't have a big grasp on what's going on or what this book is even going to be about. I don't know. One book that I do really, really like is Power Man and Iron Fist. Power Man and Iron Fist #11 comes out. It's written by David J. Walker, and the artwork is by Sanford Green. I love this book. It hits everything on all cylinders. It's cool, it's street, it's hip, it's funny. I really like this book. There's something about it. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's really, really fun. The camaraderie between Luke and Danny is fantastic. It's spot on. I just love it. I love the way it's paced. I love the villains. They get Tombstone, the cool take on Tombstone. Of course, Cornell, Cottonmouth is in here a little bit. A lot of villains are in here. Really cool story going on in this book right now, so highly recommend that you check that out. Let's move over to some DC titles. We got Action Comics 969. Loving the Superman books, especially Action Comics. It's pretty fun. Dan Jurgens is writing a really fun, action-y, slam-bast explosion of a Superman comic. And this one's all right. A little bit of a lull in the story. If you've been following the story, there's a bounty hunter named LaCall who goes out and in a Minority Report type fashion or a Civil War II type fashion, goes out and takes out people before they cause major problems. He's after Lex Luthor, who is going to be the next Darkseid. He wants to stop him. This tells you a little bit about LaCall, where this all comes from, his mission, his life. It gets a little bit into that, but it's fun. Patrick Zircher is back on the artwork, and I love his pencils on this book. I really think they're fantastic. Detective Comics 946. I've been raving about this book. You know, Tom King had a hit on last week's Batman, but Detective Comics every month continues to deliver awesome surprises and awesome comic book bat fiction. It's really cool and it's just a great balance of all these characters. The Victim Syndicate story that's going on right now is really cool and engaging. Very spoilery. Not that I'm spoiling anything, but the character spoiler. This is a very spoilery issue. It really gets into her a little bit, and I just love Detective Comics. I can't talk about it enough. Also, Wonder Woman number 12 from Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott. This book has been heating up. Like, at first, it's like, it's all right, and maybe it's a little bit jarring because each issue alternates stories from present day and the past. This is getting close to wrapping up the first arc of year one, and dude, this stuff is really good. This issue is really cool. I think we only have one more of this year one story, but a big villain makes his debut here, or his re-debut, whatever. It's a great book. Check it out. The year one stuff has been really cool. The Lie story, which is the other alternating story, is really cool and fun as well. Check out the Wonder Woman, another one, Flash number 12. This ends that whole Speed of Darkness story. It was a nice little, it's basically a filler, you know. It was a cool little story, but it did reintroduce the Shade and Hope O'Dare and that whole continuity of Starman from the 90s. If you've never read James Robinson's Starman, what are you waiting for? There's a link down below. I'll go ahead and put it there. There's a link down below. Check it out. It's fantastic. It is so cool. So it's really cool to see that character. A lot of cool Wally West stuff. The new Wally West, the younger Wally West. Lots of cool stuff in this about that. And it's not anything blatant, but there is a little bit of movement in that Rebirth Watchmen story. Just a little bit, like not much. I'm talking about reconnected relationships. Okay? We know that in the Detective Comics, where Mr. Oz takes Tim Drake, the fact that he was connecting and reconnecting certain relationships, that was a big deal and it was a problem. That's why they pulled him out. I'm just saying, a little bit of movement there. Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures, number 2. Like I said in the first issue, you know what you're getting with this book. It's going to be goofy and it's going to be fun. Any fans of Batman the Animated Series and the new TMNT series, you're going to love this book. It's really fun. It's very nostalgic. It's very childlike. It's fun. I like it. It had Harley in it, but not too much, so it didn't quite annoy me with that much. But I did enjoy this book all right. I mean, it's basically the same plot of the last series they did, but more goofy and intentionally goofy. And there's a great moment with Robin and Michelangelo that I just love in this book, and that's really cool. Let's get to some of the independent books. There are other publishers. Descender number 17. Descender by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen is a fantastic book. We got a new arc kicking off right here. This is the 4th arc. Great jumping on point, especially because the 3rd trade paperback came out today. I'll throw a link down below for that as well. Descender is great. If you've never read it, check it out. This book is cool, sci-fi space opera stuff that really gets into some deep, meaningful substance in this book, and that's what I like. That's what feeds me, and Descender's a good book like that. Green Valley, number 3, Max Landis. You know what? I'm just going to say the first issue and most of the second issue where this book has jumped where it's like knights from back in the day all of a sudden into today, right? And so actually before they showed up into today, I kind of liked the book. I was very surprised. I mean, the dialogue was really fun and witty, exactly what I expect from Max Landis. And the artwork was amazing as well, too, from Common Coley. Some of the best work of his career. But issue 3 kind of lost me. Like, once they're now in the modern day, it just kind of becomes typical. And I don't know, it was kind of typical before, but I still liked it. So, I don't know, I'm going to keep checking it out because the dialogue is great. Landis' dialogue is fantastic. The artwork is good. It's just, well, we're going to have to see. But Reborn number 3, Mark Millar, Greg Capullo, I'm not digging it. I think this might be my last issue. I'm just not digging it. I'm not the hugest Capullo fan in general, but I do think that his work is all right, and I respect it. I think the inking in this by Glapion, I don't know. There's something about their style. There's something thin about the artwork that I just don't like, and the story's just, I don't know, kind of typical. You know, Mark Millar, kudos to you because you figured out your system. You're doing books for yourself and you're selling them as properties to movie and television. I'm really happy for the success of a comic book writer. Reborn's not for me. I really liked Huck. Empress was all right, but Reborn is just, I don't know, it's not hitting me. I don't know. Nothing's happening. Terry Moore, Motor Girl, number 2. Now, with most Terry Moore books, I really like the first issue and then it drops off. Issue 2, not as good or thrilling as issue 1, but I started to realize a lot more about where this story is going, and that's really engaging. So check out Motor Girl from Abstract Studios and creator Terry Moore. This book's pretty cool. It's funny, it's black and white, but I know you love The Walking Dead, right? So you don't mind a black and white comic. This stuff's pretty decent, you know? Like I said, not a big fan of some of his other stuff, but I don't know, Motor Girl's got me so far, so I'm going to keep reading it. And just a quick reminder, guys, Comic Book History of Comics number 2, which I'm saying is required reading, came out today. And it's about superheroes, so it's all the superhero stuff, right? The beginnings of it. So really cool. If you're super interested in comic book history, this is going to be what you're really super interested in. The whole series is great. And like I said, required reading, guys. You should really check it out. Know the comic book history. It will help you appreciate the current comics even more. Anyway, check out Descender. There are links for 1, 2, and 3, books 1, 2, and 3, if you haven't checked them out already. And I'll throw those Starman links because Starman is fantastic and it doesn't get a lot of play anymore, but it is one of the best. But straight up, Hawkeye, number 1, Kate Bishop hits the mark, hit that target. I can't believe I made it through the whole video and didn't make a hit the target reference until just now. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I am Robbie Billups for Pop Culture Philosophers. Join us at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts, blogs, top 5 lists, and a whole lot more. We thank you for liking and sharing this video, and please do subscribe because we're going to do another one of these comic book reviews next week. Till then, thanks for rocking with us.